Today on the show, we're going to be talking about the Batmobile. So the Batmobile has actually been around since 1939, first appearing in Detective Comics number 27. So originally the Batmobile was just a car, a red car actually, not a black car like it is now. But over the years, it gained other features like being high-powered, like the ability to fly. But the first feature it actually gained was the bat-themed hood ornament. That wasn't there from the start. It's also worth mentioning that back in the day, the Batmobile was destroyed quite a bit, but because continuity really didn't matter during the Golden Age, another Batmobile would just appear. This is later fleshed out and explained in our current age of comics. During the 1960s, Batman had a very camp, very out there TV show which had its own Batmobile. Due to the popularity of the TV show, the Batman comics also took a turn for the camp, and because of this, the Batmobile in the comics began looking like the one in the TV show. Once the TV show was cancelled, the Batmobile went back to being quite dark and quite sleek and quite serious, but you can still see it in the background of the Batcave to this day. During the 1980s, superhero toys began to get very popular, so naturally the toy Batmobile was placed in the comic as well, complete with Coke bottle sides and looked very toy-like, but it was an actual car. Then the Dark Knight Returns came along, and the Batmobile became the Bat Riot Control Tank. I think this version of the Batmobile only appears in this story and All-Star Batman and Robin, but we don't talk about All-Star Batman and Robin. During the 90s, the number of Batman comics exploded by a lot. And because there were so many different Batman comics going on at once, there were a lot of different artists on these Batman comics. And because of this, the Batmobile had about 5 different appearances. And this had to be explained in continuity, why there were so many different Batmobiles and why they all looked so different. So it turns out that there was actually a lot of different Batmobiles scattered all over Gotham. Most of these Batmobiles would actually be destroyed during the Cataclysm storyline though. Then, even later on, we would see that all of the Batmobiles in the TV shows, the movies, the comics, the games, every Batmobile you could imagine is actually in the comics, just in the Batcave in storage. In fact, there are so many Batmobiles. One time during the Teen Titans, I think it was towards the beginning of Teen Titans Volume number 3, Tim Drake was actually able to have a Batmobile shipped out to San Francisco so the Teen Titans could take the Batmobile for a joyride, and they were only caught once they crashed it. But because there are so many Batmobiles, Batman didn't notice for quite some time. When Bruce Wayne died and Dick Grayson became Batman, a new Batmobile would come along with him, and this Batmobile could fly. And even though Bruce Wayne designed this Batmobile and built most of it himself, Damian Wayne finished it off because Bruce Wayne couldn't figure out how to make it work, but Damian Wayne could. My favorite part of the Batmobile has to be that there are hundreds of them, and no one ever acknowledges that Bruce Wayne has built most of these himself because you couldn't custom order something like a Batmobile without people getting suspicious. So Batman, part-time billionaire, part-time vigilante, part-time car mechanic.
It's super effective!
Okay guys, that is it for today. So what do you think of the Batmobile? Please let me know in the comments down below. And also don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more history videos. And also don't forget to like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter to support the show by checking out my Patreon so I can make bigger and better and more history videos. And also don't forget to subscribe to my gaming channel. My name is Faust, this has been Exploring Comics, and it is super effective.